Hey guys, it's Stephanie with Simarchy and welcome to a speed build in The Sims 4 of a large foster family house. Now this is the home of the Kenny family, and the family only consists technically of Rylan and Bailey. Now Rylan and Bailey are high school sweethearts who fell in love when they met in school, and they had been together for a very long time before they decided to get married and have a family. And at that point, neither of them knew that Bailey wasn't able to actually have children, and they had tried everything to no avail and just weren't able to get pregnant. So they both decided that the best thing that they could do is open their big home to foster children. And these foster children are not technically children that they adopted. They thought that they could actually do a better, I wouldn't say job, but just like they felt like they would have more of an impact if they fostered homes, if they became a foster home for children who temporarily needed a place to go and help them transition to their forever families. And the reason they chose this instead of adopting children is because they just felt like they had so much love to give, and they make such good money. They have such a big home. They thought it would be a perfect opportunity to try to help as many kids as they possibly can. And if they do eventually find that one of the kids that lives with them is the perfect fit for them, obviously they would give them a permanent home because they could afford it and they could still foster other children as well. But for now, they're just enjoying meeting the new kids, and even though it's extremely heartbreaking when they do find their forever homes, they just love them. They love them so much. They don't always have control if the new families are going to let them see them or stay in contact, but many of them do. They do send photos of the children, and they let them write letters to them once in a while, just to keep them up with how the kids are doing, especially if they spent a long time with the family. Now, Rylan is a master maker, so he loves creating things. He loves crafting. He loves building things, and he has a workshop off the property. And the reason that is because they used to have a big workshop on the first floor of the family home, and upstairs was just guest bedrooms, and they didn't really know what they were going to do with them. But his workshop was indoors, and there he did a lot of stuff from woodworking to candle making, and decided to basically just get a space away from home so that he can create more room for the children. And his workshop in particular actually turns out to be a kids playroom, so that the kids have an extra space to just hang out and chill and not have to be confined to their rooms or the living room all the time. And so he again, he loves making things, so he's into dumpster diving and all sorts of stuff like that, and he actually makes pretty good money. He's pretty well known for the things that he makes, even though it's so many different styles of items. He definitely has a big following and a big fan base, and he makes a ton of money from his creations. Now, Bailey, she is a computer whiz. She's always been like super interested in computers and how they work and learning how to program. And she develops software for other companies as like an independent third party. So she definitely can work from home. And since she is so into computers, she's able to really help the kids a lot with their homework and helping them research and writing papers and doing whatever they need. So it's very handy that she's able to help them out at home as well. And we do have a large home office, which you will see, that has desks for all of the kids, so plenty of room for everybody. And so now, well, we'll talk about the house a little bit, but I'm really just building the shell. There's not too much to talk about right now. This was one of those scenarios where I basically was building the house around each room. So as I was going through, I was like, okay, this is going to be the living room, this is going to be the dining room, this is going to be the kitchen. So I had a plan in my head, and some of the rooms ended up being way bigger than I imagined. So I did go through and just size it down a little bit, and now I'm just working on putting on the doors and fencing and windows and all that fun stuff. I actually have a quick question for you guys. Do you want me to leave every tiny detail in these videos? I definitely can. Obviously the bigger homes are going to be this length, closer to like, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. I don't know if that's too much, or if you don't mind if I cut out things like placing the wallpaper and the lighting and the doors, or if you know, again, if you prefer that because you want to see the entire process, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I've previously done kind of a mix of both, but for this house in particular, I left everything. Even though I planned to take a few things out, I decided to just try a little bit of a longer video and see if you guys enjoy that as well. So next we're going to talk about the teens, well, all the kids, and they currently foster 2 teens, 2 kids, and 2 toddlers. So the eldest teen is Wendy. She is, oh, and by the way, you're going to see all of them. You're going to see all of their rooms, and you're going to see all of the Sims in the house, interacting with the house at the end of the video. So Wendy is very active. She's a bit of a bro, and she loves to recycle, which works out perfectly because she can help the foster parent, Ryan, with all of his woodworking and scrap collecting and dumpster diving. And she just loves to make candles, and everything that he's into, she's into as well. So she's definitely enjoying helping him out with that when she's not in school. It's kind of one of her fun after school activities. And she actually earns a little bit of extra money because when she helps Rylan create things, he gives her a little commission for everything that she helped with. So it's a nice way for her to save up a load of money as well. And the next teen is Demi. Now, Demi is very neat. She's a perfectionist, and she's fascinated with collecting rocks and gemstones. Now, I didn't actually give her a gemstone collection, although I kind of wish I had in retrospect. So if you're going to download the family and the house, which you can get both of them on the gallery, the family is called, I think, Foster Family, and I think the house is called Foster Family House. They should be pretty easy to pair together. But you could definitely add a little gem collection by actually taking her around to collect gems and stones, or by going into debug and just giving her a small collection to start with. And Demi also loves video games, so she has, very spoiled, she has a couch in her room along with Wendy, because they share a room. She has a couch, a TV, and a video game system that Rylan and Bailey actually bought specifically for her, because that's just her escape. That's what she loves to do. She loves to play video games, and she's really good in school, so they figured it would be fine to get her a video game system, and they figured it would be very useful for any of the other children in the future that they foster as well. So they figured that wasn't a loss or anything, and it would make her happy, and they wanted to make her time here as happy as possible. Now, Demi actually has a kid sister named Casey, and they're both here together. I'm not going to go into like the backgrounds of how the kids lost their families, because I feel like that would take up a whole nother video. But Casey is Demi's little sister. They were actually fostered together, which is really good. A lot of times siblings do end up getting separated, and the Kenny family is going to try their hardest. They don't really have much say in it, but they're going to try their hardest to make sure that the 2 children, Casey and Demi, the 2 sisters, get adopted together. So Casey, she's a child. She is a bookworm and very, very smart. She's into reading, and there's a bunch of like books all around the house, in the study and in the living room. So she has plenty of places where she can grab a book and just sit down and read and chill out. And she's really smart as well. She does very well in school. She kind of keeps to herself. She definitely gets along with other kids in the house, but she definitely keeps to herself for the most part, and just really, really likes to learn and study and learn new things. And then the other child that lives here is Bonnie. Now, Bonnie is the exact opposite of Casey. She's a social butterfly. She's very cheerful. She has a lot of friends. She talks to everybody. She just makes friends everywhere that she goes, and she doesn't really let the fact that she doesn't have a permanent family affect her. She's just very happy to be around other people, and everyone sees her joy and her kindness, and they just kind of flock to her. So Bonnie definitely lights up the room everywhere that she goes. And then lastly, we have our 2 little toddlers. Now, they are twins. Their name are Neo and June, and they are Chinese descent. And Neo is a charmer, and June is angelic. They're very, very sweet little babies. They're very well behaved. They love to play. They love to explore. So we made sure to give them plenty of toys and places to just really use their creativity and imagination. And they've actually been doing really well in this home. The Kennys are definitely thinking of all the children that they're fostering right now, that they might be able to give a permanent home to Neo and June, but we will have to take our time and see how things go. They don't want to rush into a decision. They want to see if maybe a better fit, a better family comes along, because sometimes it is hard for children to grow up in a foster family house. And often they, especially if they're young or even if they're older, they tend to see the children that come through the home as part of their family as well. I mean, it's kind of hard for them to distinguish the fact that, you know, this is just a child that's coming through here that is going to leave soon. Like, they definitely get attached, and if they are a little bit older, very often they help take care of the children. They take care of the little ones. So they're really afraid that if they adopt the twin toddlers permanently, that they won't be able to give them as much care and attention as they want. And they're also afraid as they get older, it might be harder for them to have so many kids coming in and out of their home. So they're just going to take it slow, like I said, and play it by ear and see what happens. But it is definitely something that they have been considering a lot, something they've been talking about taking very seriously. And so right now we are decorating the yard. Now that you know all about the family, I'll go into more details as we go through everything that we're building here. And again, Rylan just made sure he gave up everything. He gave up the backyard and everything for the kids. So he built a swing set. He built monkey bars for them since he loves to make things. And there are also 2 custom made picnic tables that he worked on so that the family can have a nice big gathering outside anytime that they like. There is also a card table so the kids can sit around and play Don't Wake the Llama. And there's a barbecue grill so they can enjoy their meals. And I think that was that. Oh, and there's oh my gosh, there's a giant jungle gym. Now that thing was very expensive, but again, the Kenny family can afford it, and they definitely wanted to make sure that every kid that came through here had a really fun experience and enjoyed their time. So they did get the giant jungle gym that includes the ball pit and the slide. It is something super, super fun for the toddlers, and since their yard was big enough, they were actually able to get it, where it's a pretty big piece that most homes can't really accommodate that, but their yard can. So they thought that would be a perfect thing to help out with all of the little babies that come through. And now I'm just going through and laying down all the flooring and wallpaper. And this house is more traditional for sure. I don't normally build with darker colors, but I thought I wanted to give the home sort of an older vibe. And the reason that they built an older home is because it has a lot of charm. It has really nice molding. It has a lot of history. It's a really nice, well-built house, so even though it's got maybe some darker colors that we don't use as much in modern builds, well, I guess it depends really, but usually like new suburban homes, everything's white, the walls are all white, the floor is all white, everything's like very cookie cutter and clean, and so they definitely wanted something with a little bit more charm that they can have for a very, very long time. They've thought about doing some upgrades, but they really just like it. They like their little house. It is a little bit eclectic. They could go and afford, you know, super nice furniture, but they like to invest the money into the children instead, and they just kind of keep, you know, whatever furniture they've come across over the years. So not everything super matches in the house. There are a lot of things that they've just had for a long time, a lot of things that family has given them because they really decide to put their money elsewhere, and they don't feel like the quality of the furniture or them matching is super important, because again, so many kids come through this home and just things get old, things get worn, so they definitely go more for comfort than style. And now we're working on the giant kitchen, and it was so big I was actually able to put some seating in here as well, which was nice because not every meal has to be in the kitchen. There's plenty of room for at least 3 people to eat in here as well, or I mean, not every room has to be in the dining room. And I thought about putting high chairs, but they're still technically glitched. I was playing the other day and I don't know, I thought they had fixed them at some point, but I couldn't get my sim to even use the high chair. So even though they look super cute, I figured there was no point in putting one in here. And when I started the living room, I mean the dining room, I didn't really think about how big the table was going to be and it having to accommodate so many sims. So I ended up just putting 2 tables next to each other. I know I could have just picked a long table and put 2 chairs at the heads of the table as well. But I thought, I don't know, I thought this was a little bit more realistic for a really big family like this that changes all the time. The size of the family changes all the time. So they ended up just getting 2 tables and putting them together as their ability to adopt more children as foster children grew. So I thought that was just super cute that they just stuck 2 tables next to each other with mismatched chairs. Basically 2 different table sets that kind of match but aren't an exact match. And of course downstairs is the entryway with all of the backpacks, and they have a dresser here as well so they can store more of like the heavy bulky winter clothes. I also made sure to put a lot of closets throughout this home, so you'll definitely see I think there's at least 3 or 4. I'll try to point them out when I see them, but Lots of storage, and each of the rooms, I believe, also has a dresser, so you never have to worry about a place for your Sims to change or store their clothes. There's plenty of ways, plenty of spaces. And the carpets are a bit mismatched in here. I was afraid that I was going too dark with the colors of the home, so I started to brighten it up a bit with some of the furniture, and definitely wanted the wallpaper in the bedrooms to be more bright and colorful. And so downstairs, I was actually kind of struggling with this decision, but downstairs is the parents' room. And I think the reason for that is they want to have all the kids together upstairs. For them, it wouldn't really make sense to have some of the kids downstairs and some of them upstairs for their sleeping quarters. And also it kind of gives them the ability to keep an eye out on the house. They're really close to the front door, and if anyone's trying to like sneak in or out, they would see them. Obviously they could use the windows, but they are on the second story, so it's a little bit harder for them to sneak out if they wanted to. So I guess it just makes more sense, like safety wise, and it also gives them their own little retreat, so the kids can be upstairs and be as loud as they want, and they have their own little private space down here, and they have the double closets and the vanity, so I was able to fit a lot in here for them. And it was just pinks and greens and some of my favorite colors. Now, in addition to, I think there's 4 bedrooms total. 1, 2, yeah, so the twin toddler share room, the 2 kids share room, and the 2 teens share room, and then there's the parents room. So it's only a 4 bedroom. It's not super huge. It's not like it's a 6 bedroom or anything, but they make do. It's very easy to put 2 children in 1 room. I also made sure to give them a lot of bathrooms, so I think they end up with 3, if I'm not mistaken. There's 1 down here on the first floor, and then there's a Jack and Jill. It's technically a Jack and Jill bathroom between 2 bedrooms, but I put the door entry from the hallway instead, so you can't actually enter it from the rooms themselves, but it is kind of shared between 2 of the bedrooms. And then there is a bigger bathroom closer to the teens' bedroom that they can use. Again, you enter it from the hallway, and then there's a 3rd bathroom. So there is no shortage of places for kids to brush their teeth, take their baths, wash their hair, whatever they need to do, wash their hands, everything. There's definitely plenty of space for everyone to take their turn without having to be on top of each other. And now we're working on the kids' room. Now this part was super fun, or I should say the kids' playroom. This was the room that used to be Ryland's main workshop, and he wanted to just really decorate it for the kids. Oh my gosh, that went by so fast. I'm babbling so much. But he wanted to decorate that room for the kids. So he put up a big giant chalkboard wall and have the kids go through and make little chalk drawings whenever they like. So we had like the ghost and the unicorn. We also had the kids play block set, a dollhouse, the void critters, so much stuff in there, the science set, and activity table for drawing and coloring. So that room is pretty nice. Lots of toys, a toy box, stuffed animals as well. And since that room is so big, the living room had to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay with them because they have an extra sort of living room upstairs. It's more just for the kids. So there's technically, if you count the kids' play area, this living room, and the upstairs living room, there's technically 3 big areas where they can hang out. So that, again, they're not all on top of each other. They can hang out in the same room if they want. They could probably fit most of them. There's lots of seatings and cushions all around, but they also have their space to kind of spread out. And this also works well in case there's any of the children that like maybe don't get along well with others, or if there's any children that come through the foster house that need a little bit more privacy, they can just kind of give them their own hangout space to be away from everyone else. And for the bathrooms, I actually just copied the same bathroom and changed the colors, and I always want to do this, but I get discouraged because it can mess up the house. But it didn't. It just copied the I don't know what was on the back of there. There was like a light and a utensil thing for the grill, so I just had to go and delete those. But other than that, it worked out well. I just copied and pasted the bathroom, saved me a lot of time. All I had to do was change the colors, and the layout could stay the same because fortunately 3 of the bathrooms were the same size, and the 4th one was a little bit, yeah, this one right here. This one's the technically Jack and Jill, but not really. That one I just copied some of the items over too, so you know, it was a different shape. I couldn't copy the entire thing. And I made sure to give them their own color theme and everything. The teens one has a little bit more fun colors. The shared one's a little bit more neutral. It just kind of fits like the personality of the kids that are currently here through the shower curtains and the floor mats. And right now, this is the study that we're working on. I originally planned for this to be a bedroom, but since there are so many kids and they're not technically homeschooled, they do a lot of school work from home, like homework and stuff like that, like all kids do. It just happens to be that there's 6 kids, so they need a bigger room for all of this. So I made it into just an exclusive study. There are 5 desks, which are probably 1 too many. I think we only needed 4 desks because obviously the toddlers can't use one right now, but they do have an extra in case they end up fostering any more kids, or if the parents want to use one as well, because they don't have their own dedicated office space, so they can come in there and use the computer, of course, whenever they need, especially since Bailey is a programmer. She needs her little workspace as well. And I should have given her a laptop. Oh my gosh, I should have given her a desk in her room too, instead of the vanity. See, these are things that I think about afterwards and then it's too late. But yeah, there's an idea for you. If again, you want to download the house and the family, I would definitely give Bailey a desk instead of a vanity. I think that would be more appropriate for her in her bedroom. And if you do want to download them, I can't remember if I said this, but on the gallery, the way to find them is to use hashtag Simarchy or user ID Simarchy123. So you could go download both of them. Or one or the other, whatever you like. And now we're working on the teens room. And this one was really fun. There is the video game system that is set up for Demi, the teen who loves to play video games. Again, they just were able to squeeze a couch in there and also give them a little pet hamster as well. And then I realized I forgot a laundry room. I really wanted this house to look super realistic. So I ended up sacrificing one of the closets, actually both of the closets in the hallway, because I thought the one looked weird there after I deleted the other. But I just made like a little laundry nook, which I do feel is kind of realistic, especially in an older home. They don't necessarily, unless they have a basement, or like a nice modern kitchen with a built-in washer and dryer, or a whole separate room dedicated. I think it does make sense. I've definitely lived in a lot of apartments that had just like a little laundry nook in the hallway. So we put that in there, kind of like an afterthought, but it works, it functions. And oh my gosh, the speedboat's going by so fast. It's not like I sped it up more than a normal one, but you also just saw me make the second living area, or third living area if you count the kids' playroom, and that one just has a space for the kids to hang out. I put a bunch of tablets and toddler tablets, so it can be used for studying or for just chilling if the little toddlers don't want to go up and down those giant stairs all the time. They have a bathroom up here they can use, their bedroom, they have toys in their bedroom, and then they have their tablets so that they can, learn how to do shapes and learn their blocks and all of that. And speaking of the toddlers, we're working on their room now. I wanted to keep it super bright and colorful and fun for them. So we have lots and lots of toys. I squeezed as many as I possibly could in there, again, so that they can just play with whatever they want without having to go downstairs all of the time. And now we're working on the kids' room. So this is the one that Casey and Bonnie share. And these two actually get along really well. All the kids do, but these two in particular, even though they're complete opposites, and like we said, Casey is more of a bookworm and Bonnie is more of a social butterfly, they get along well at home. At school, it's a different story. They don't really talk to each other too much because Casey is a little bit more to herself, and Bonnie tries to get her to, play with her friends, but she just likes being alone. But at home, they're like best friends. They hang out all the time. They tell each other everything, and they really enjoy spending their time together. So now we're into those screenshots again. Oh my gosh, for a 25-minute video, this went by so fast. I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. But here's a shot into the dining room. Came out super pretty with the sunflowers. There's Mom enjoying her time in the kitchen, making a nice big ham meal. And then there is the teen, oh gosh, I forgot her name. I don't know, I forgot her name, but she's in there watching TV while Mom cooks. And then here is Rylan and Casey watching a movie together. They're enjoying some time, bonding time, watching a kids' adventure movie. And I like all the clutter. I put lots of clutter in there for them. And then here is Bonnie drawing a picture for her friend Casey. And you can see a better shot of that chalkboard wall, and all the lights and all the different toys for them to play with. It's definitely a very creative and inspirational room for all the kids to come and just, do whatever they want, hang out, have some creative fun. And then here is the upstairs living area with the little hamster chairs that are so cute because they're eating candy, and a shot into our laundry nook. And then there are the twin toddlers, Neo and June, just playing, having a good time. I think June is so stinking cute, especially with that little overall outfit she is wearing. I fell in love with her so much. Like, honestly, if I were to play through this family, I'm pretty sure I would just have Rylan and Bailey adopt the twin toddlers for sure. I feel like they would make a perfect fit. So there is a better shot into the study, and then there is Demi rocking the virtual bowling. She's getting really into it. And there's her pet hamster that she shares with the other teen that I can't remember her name. Wendy. Oh my gosh, Wendy. Yes. And then here is the parents' room. Very pretty. I like the colors. You could definitely tell that Bailey designed it herself. And there is the vanity I would have replaced with a computer area for her instead. So enjoy the floor plans as well. If you want to see exactly how the house is laid out, here you go. I appreciate you guys watching so much. Like, really, it means the world to me. I know that you appreciated the stories in the last video, so I'm going to try to do one big build with a story and then one smaller build without a story every Saturday and Sunday going forward. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to come hang out with us on Twitch, where I stream every day, Monday through Friday, to play some more Sims with me, and that is twitch.tv/Simarchy, link in the description. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.